Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Monami and today I'll show you how to design stylized characters in the easiest way possible. I'll talk you through body proportions, dynamic poses, expressions and of course coloring. So without further ado, let's get started. Cartoon characters usually differ in body proportions than realistic humans. An easy way to calculate that is by counting the number of heads. Or in other words, if you had to arrange the head of a character throughout the total length of the body, how many heads the body can fit. Look at this example on the screen. So in realistic proportions, characters are usually 7.5 to 8 heads long. But for cartoons, anime or in general for drawing stylized characters, we tend to avoid that possibility and we usually go with characters which are 5 heads long or sometimes 3 heads long. For example, for designing kid characters, usually we use characters that are 2 heads long, sometimes 3 heads long, and characters are a little older, for example teenagers or young adults, then we usually go with 5 heads long. I'm using 3 heads length for the character. I want to show a very carefree girl here with a lollipop, some boots so that she can happily march around, and as you can see the character is 3 heads long. So now that is done and let's design one more character which is like 4 heads long. So this time it's a little older character. She's probably a young adult. She's probably going to a party or something, going out casually, so I wanted to give her a baggy jacket, some ripped jeans and some cool shirts. So now that is done, let's draw one more character, that is a chibi. So a chibi character is usually drawn with 2 heads proportions only, sometimes even 1.5 head long. This is also a very cute looking girl. She has cat ears and some big anime-ish eyes. By altering just the number of proportions of heads, we can easily design a character of different age. So now let's talk about poses, a dynamic pose versus a static pose. So as you can see, I'm drawing a character right now which is kind of very symmetrical. He has a straight body, and now I'm drawing another character which has slightly bent posture. So in character designing or in animation, we call these the line of action. So basically line of action is an imaginary line that aligns with the way the body is folded or the body is posed. So more curved the line of action, the more dynamic the pose. So we usually tend to avoid characters in a straight line of action because it looks very robotic and lifeless. So as you can see, I'm drawing 3 poses of the same character with curved line of actions, and of course the one on the right looks the most natural. Let's apply this principle to the characters we designed earlier, right? So as you can see, I just pushed the line of action for the characters a bit more for both of these. The characters immediately appear more lively. And one more thing here is that when I designed the teenager, I used baggy clothes. So what it did was it hindered the line of action. It did not show how her waist is bent or anything. So I changed her clothes in the second one. So this is also important while drawing a character. Make sure the clothes also flow along with the body. Now also let's look at some dancers. Since dancers usually have a very dynamic posture while they are dancing, they show another kind of line of action which is the S curve. So previously what we did was the C curve, or the line of action was shaped like a C. Here we'll see that the curve is in the shape of an S. So basically while designing the characters, if you keep in mind the C curves and the S curves, it will make the character poses even more expressive and dynamic. And as you can see, these characters are also not symmetrical, meaning the left side and the right side of the characters are not exactly identical. Now let's go on to expressions. So while doing expressions, I start by making the shape of the face, or maybe a round shape also works, and then drawing an imaginary plus line. So what this does is helps me figure out where to draw the eyes, nose, etc. As you can see, while drawing the expressions, this distance between the eyes, the face, the nose, etc. determines the expression, right? So for example, when the character is sad, the eyes are usually drooping down, the eyebrows are also closer to the eyes, while it will be opposite when somebody is happy. So yeah, as you can see, I did around 4 expressions, and if you see the eyes, the shape of the eyeballs, the eyebrows raised, etc. helps in drawing the expressions. I'll also do a detailed video later on for this series of expressions. If you're interested, do press the bell notification icon so that you get notified when I upload the video. So now that is done, let's go ahead with our final segment of this, which is coloring of the characters. So yeah, I'll color the character which I did design during the first part of the video. I wanted to give her a very bright yellow kind of overall, so it's like it goes with the mood of the character basically. So first what I did was cleaned up the line art a little bit, then selected and filled the flats, and for this one I decided to go with a very cut out and flat shading style, almost like a cell shading kind of thing. So yeah, I just selected the shapes with the brush and then used a darker color, then reduced the opacity for the shadows. I added highlights, little splotches of dust here and there. The back side of the hair I used a little lighter shade than the rest of the hair. And when that is done, I added a very simple background, and with it it's done. Now let's go on to our next character, which is the girl we did. I want to give her some tight trousers or leggings, some latex top, and basically I want to make her very hip looking. So for this also I am just selecting the shapes, filling the flats, adding the color to the shoes and everything. So for her eyeballs I decided to give some shine. I'll just, for the net part I added a color and then reduced the opacity slightly so that it mimics the sheerness of the net, I think. Shadow of her skin and then reduce the opacity. So for this character I used different layers with the shadow for the different types of shadow that is falling. Once that is done, I added some harsh lights, adding some free-flowing hair here and there, some highlights and shadows in her clothes as well. So once that is done, this character is also done. As you can see, the coloring style is a little bit different than the other one. I'll also upload a detailed character coloring process later on. I want to show this other character also I had done previously. This character also has a very sharp C curve. And so it's done. All our characters, our expressions and everything is done. I hope you find this video useful. If you did, don't forget to like, share and subscribe and press the bell notification icon. And until next time, bye.